Carl Kelly, fighting at UFC 112. Last time we saw you was 105 in Manchester. Didn't go too well. Got Dennis Seaver, and he got knocked out of the night for that spinning back kick.
Should have given me half that, shouldn't he, really?
Can you
Not 20 grand wouldn't have made it as painful.
Tell us what that spinning back kick felt like, because he looked nasty.
I don't know, just paralysed me more than anything. I fucking, sorry for swearing. I tried to stand up off it and couldn't. What happened is, my ribs are already injured anyway. Not a Tito or Tito, I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. But my ribs were already injured beforehand, so when he's kicked it, I think there must have been a little bit tender, and whatever happened to the inside made a leak, made some leak. Don't ask me the technical term, I don't know. So as I've stood up, I've tried to stand up and carry on, and just couldn't even move when I was lying in bed, until I seen Taylor in a suit with 2 panda eyes and thought, I'm on up time, and got my stuff on, and ended up having a good night out with the lads, you know. But the pain was, you know, I think the kick would have stopped me anyway. It's a horrible thing to talk about.
Oh, well.
John Joe, you tit.
We'll leave it there then. Right, go on, tell us about your next fight. No, I was curious because you're
I don't know, I'm only messing.
You're not a guy that goes down either.
I'm not that arsed. I showed art in it, and if I would have laid on the floor and not at least tried to stand up, Mark Scanlon shouted for the baby, and that's my inspiration, the baby. That's what I fight for their futures, you know what I mean? So when Scano shouted for the baby, you know, I'd have got to go out with that shout. I couldn't let it down. So yeah, so this next fight, it's a tough fight, which is a matchup I wanted. I wanted a tough matchup. I don't want to sound like I've got an ego here, because I haven't got an ego. I didn't want to go in and fight anyone that didn't deserve to fight me. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want some an up and coming new fighter who's earned the right to get there and then try and earn the name off me, and it's just not going to happen. So Veach, he's only ever lost the 1 fight against Edgar, and in fairness, he was out wrestling Edgar the first round, and he probably took the first round until he gassed. I think that's going to be the same, the tail of the Tate in this. I think he's going to probably, unless I stop him in the first, he's probably going to score the points in the first and take the round. This isn't a fight in a car park. It's a fight that scores points, and it's a sport like any other. So if he scores them takedowns in the first round, which we takedown defences, you know, he's not going to score them as easily as he thinks. Second and third round, he's going to go to sleep.
What's going to make the big difference in the fight, do you think?
My heart and my fitness. You know, when it's time to fight, I match anyone for fitness, and I think I'm going to push the pace that much. I'm going to be in his face. He won't knock me out. He won't stop me. If I push the pace that much, I'm going to break his heart. I'm going to see his heart. When I see, because you can see it in a fighter's eyes when you break their heart. When I break his heart, I'll pick up that pace and go that extra mile. And when I do that, it's time. It's going to be a good night for me.
He was undefeated coming into the UFC, but
yeah,
he doesn't really do interviews. It's hard to find out a whole lot about him.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't, in the same breath that he hasn't done interviews, he hasn't badmouthed me, so I'm not going to badmouth him in any way. You know, he's a tough guy. He doesn't look like he's ever picked an opponent like I haven't. So, you know, on the night, I'm looking to I hope he comes to fight, and we make a good fight of it. Abu Dhabi, don't know, they bought into it, so obviously they want to make a good show of it. I'm sure me and Veach will make a good show of it, and he brings it. So he's certainly going to.
What about fighting overseas?
Doesn't bother me. I think the climate's going to be a bit of getting used to, but I'll get used to it, and whatever affects me is going to affect them more, because obviously I know in my head I'm fitter than I'm a train. I always, in my head, when I'm sitting there on the couch, I won't ever let myself rest. You know, I always have to know in my head I've trained harder than my opponent, so that if we're digging in the trenches, I can take that little bit deeper, and I'll pull it out the bag. I think the overseas thing, it's going to be a bit of a strange atmosphere unless they're all Westerners, because it's not very. I mean, I can't see many people hanging over the sides and screaming like they do in England, but I'm looking forward to it.
How are you finding the lightweight division now?
See, this is it, since I've come down to lightweight. After I lost my strength and conditioning coach after Marcus Davies, and then I've just been doing since then. Since I've come down to lightweight, I've been worrying too much about making weight and about, because I walk around maybe 82 kilo, and I don't really like to make the biggest cut in the world, because I think you sacrifice a lot by doing that. With me being down to lightweight now, I have to make that cut. That's there's no choice in the matter. But I stopped doing strength and conditioning. I was just doing strength once or twice a week just to keep my strength up. But I'm not just a strength, I'm an explosive fighter, do you know what I mean? So I've been doing my strength with Kerry Case, which is awesome, CMP, and I've been doing my conditioning with Barry at Extreme Conditioning, and my explosiveness gone back to the way it was at 170. I'm hard to keep on my back. My sub defence is good, which is also work for anyway. I mean, Veach might get the takedown, but the chances of him staying on top of me are slim to none. I'll scramble and scramble and scramble and scramble, and in that scramble he's getting just as tired as me, and I will not stop. So I'll get back to my feet every time.